Last year alone, we made 4,000 plus ad creatives for ecom and DTC brands. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the 5 people that you need to make about 40 to 50 ads every single month, how we script high volume and high converting ad creatives. And if you stick to the end, I'll give you the exact system that you need to implement this in your business. So with that being said, let us begin. So my name is Camilo and I run Epic Ads Club. We've made ad creatives for brands like Adobe, CapCut, Remington, and I own a private editing community with over 500 members where I teach them how to edit. I've also built my own YouTube channel. So anyways, enough about me. Let me show you exactly how we made over 4,000 ad creatives last year. Now, just for context, we made the same ad creatives that helped this brand who has never run ads before go from spending zero money on ads to getting ridiculous ROAS scores, click-through rates, purchases, and staying within KPI, all within 2 months of working with us. And you can see here, we also made some ad creatives for Aristech, came up with some crazy concepts for Talclean, and I've worked with hundreds of UGC creators. So let me tell you the 5 people that you need in your content team. Okay, so the first person that you need in your team is actually going to be a creative strategist. Now, this person here, they need to know what high converting content looks like. They need to have new and fresh ideas, need to understand video content. Now, this is probably going to be you at the beginning if you're somebody that's creative. If you're not creative at all, you definitely don't want to do this role. However, this is the person that's going to be coming up with the concepts that are then going to be mixed with the audience research so that both of them paired together make the high converting videos. The next one is going to be a copywriter. They need to know how to write persuasive copy. They need to understand how humans speak because they're going to be writing majority of UGC scripts. They need to be absolutely obsessed with good hooks. The next person you're going to need in your team is going to be a UGC manager, and you're definitely going to need this. I'm blessed to have one. Her name is Camilla. My name is Camilo, so we're a great team. They need to be very organized because they're going to take care of negotiation, contracts, and commitment with creators. They're the ones that are going to be selecting the UGC creators from your roster. So it helps a lot if you have a roster of people that you have worked with. You probably will have to build one as time goes on. We have one that has over 450 plus UGC creators that we worked with, and you can access like this. But need to be very good at comms. The next person that you need is going to be your ops manager, your head of ops, your head of operations. Probably if you're an organized person, if you're the founder, it is most likely going to be you at the beginning. But ultimately what they're going to do is be responsible with hitting deadlines, managing communication between teams. Most likely it's going to be you. It was me for a long time, depending on the role in your business. If you focus a lot on stock and the back end of the business, you need to have somebody who's organized for this. Otherwise, your operations will fall apart. And I can tell you that from experience. And finally, the last person that you need, and this is probably the most important person. In fact, when we started, we focused solely on this person, and that person is going to be a direct response video editor. They need to understand direct response, okay? They need to understand hooks, audience retention. They need to be psyoped and red pilled on what is good performing content. It's a bonus if they also make content themselves. Although there are some amazing people who don't make content, I'm just saying if you can find one that does, you're in a good situation. So that is the exact, let's not even call them a content team, let's call them the content Avengers. Okay, these are the exact Avengers that you're gonna have in your team in order to pump out 40 to 50 ad creatives. And when I say ad creatives, all of these ads have up to 5 hooks each, so you're looking at least 200 ad creatives at the minimum every single month. Okay, now I'm gonna go through the exact process that we use to make high converting ad creatives, starting with audience research. So this is the most important part. This will make or break your ad creatives. Most people, they just throw some money at a creator, at some videos, and think that's going to help them, but really you need to do audience research from the bottom up. If you think you know your audience just based on purchasers, you're going to be highly mistaken because that's only a small amount of people that are potentially going to buy your product. You need to find out what people are actually saying about your product online. So the way that we do that is using Answer the Public, Reddit, TikTok, reviews, AI, and Google to fill out the research sheet. So the first thing we do is we go to Answer the Public. Just to give you an example, say we search, for example, beef tallow. When you go to Answer the Public, you get a few free searches, but if you get a paid account, you can get more. You get answers that look like this, okay? You get the are, can, will. All of these things are questions real human beings are having, and they're showing you based on relevance. So for example, if I click, can beef tallow cause acne, it's gonna show up on Google, and you're gonna get loads of articles, loads of people talking about it. And if I actually add Reddit next to it, you can see here, I now have an exact thread conversation of real people who have had real conversations about beef tallow. So what you wanna do is essentially create a huge list of these things, and that goes into our next step. Once we have these, our main goal is to fill out this sheet full of data, which are going to be the features, benefits, desires, and the life force that it goes from, the pain points, and for every pain point, the struggle, for every objection that they're going to have, how to handle the objection, UGC archetypes, angles, and any other research, for example. These are just some examples I have here. And we want to basically fill out this sheet. That's the main goal. This is going to be the document that's going to hold all the information for how our client actually speaks. It's like planting a neuro-linguistic chip into their heads. Now, the next step that we do is we actually take all our information and we go to something that's called getpoppy.ai. Now, you can use ChatGPT, but this completely replaced it because of the way that you can organize content inside Poppy. For example, if I just start a fresh slate, what I can do is I can take this Reddit thread, I can copy and paste it. I can take the audience research sheet, which you can access by going to my free guide on dtcadlab.com/free guide. You can get this inside it. There's a link to it. You can get it for free. And just to give you a very simple example, if I press C and pull up the chat, I can drag these two in there and I can say to it, for example, based on the columns on the research sheet, fill them out using all the information in the Reddit thread. Make sure to have at least 10 for each column. Use their own language. If I press enter, this is going to start cooking, and you can see here for each column it's filling them out. So features: beef tallow as a moisturizer, natural animal based fat, winter friendly moisturizer. Benefits: so it can clear skin up for users, works well in dry winter months. And you can see like winter friendly moisturizer means it's going to work well in winter months, right? And so I mean, typically what I do is I say format it like the sheet in a table, and then what it's going to do is actually going to make a table, and then that table you can just copy and paste it directly onto the audience research sheet. And sometimes AI will do this. It won't associate the objections with the handle, so you're just going to tell it something like relate each column to the next. Every objection needs to be handled. Beef tallow moisturizer, nitro demoisturizing, grass-fed tallow option, better fatty acid profile for skin. It all has its relatability. Okay, now you can copy and paste that to the audience table, and you will do this with almost every single result from here, so that you specifically are speaking the language and you're using the concerns that people have about your product. Next, what we'll do in our process is we'll go to Foreplay, and we will basically create a board that has examples of the best concepts, ideas that we can come up with. Those concepts can be from other creators, other brands, but we also want to look at concepts from other content creators. So we can look at TikTok's ad library, we can just scroll through Instagram. I want to collect a nice database of these. Okay, so you can see here, this one was for a specific product. Then what we will do is we will come up with conceptual briefs, like the main brief idea, which can look like this. For example, in this brand here, we came up with the concepts, how it's going to go, what the pain point is, what's the main focus of the concept, and then those get approved by us and the client. Then what we will do is we'll create tickets on Airtable. So we have a whole Airtable where we process all the tickets. Then all the tickets will have the UGC and voiceover scripts made, which has exact instructions as to what's going to be said. If you leave it for the UGC creator to just talk about the product, they don't have all the context and information that we have given them. They don't have the desire to actually make a good video for the product. They just want to get paid. So it's our responsibility to make sure that the content that we feed them and we tell them to say, obviously they want to use some creativity, but it has to be accurate to the research that we created. Then finally, once that's done, we give it to the UGC creator. Now, if you're wondering kind of how does it get divided between our team of Avengers, the main two are going to be the strategist and the copywriter for that process. So for example, somebody signs, the strategist does the Foreplay boards, he comes up with the concepts, the copywriter does the audience research and loads it on Poppy. Once the concepts are approved, the strategist creates the tickets on Airtable. Then the voiceover scripts are obviously made by the copywriter, who's very good at writing. The ideas in terms of the B-roll and the footage get made by the strategist because they're good with ideas. And then once it gets approved internally, we send it to the UGC creator, or we do AI voiceovers, and the person that does the AI voiceover should be the copywriter or somebody who's trained on using good quality AI voiceovers. And then what we do is we give that to our roster of UGC creators. So this will go into the stages of the UGC creators. We have a full database of hundreds and hundreds of UGC creators you can see here. They get the products shipped to them, they get the stuff, they film different B-roll, different shots, and then our editors will produce 5 hooks minimum for each ad creative. Just to give you some examples, so you can see here we have different videos that we make based on the UGC creators and what they get, and you can see each video here is going to have 5 different hooks. So for every concept you get 5 different hooks. So once we make the creatives, we give it to our clients, or we do the creative test ourselves. If we get good results, our main 2 KPIs are going to be the ROAS and CPA. If those are good, we're going to log it to our winners, and we're going to extract more juice by creating remixes. Either we're going to make a hook variation, change the text slightly, add some more b-roll, do a mashup, etc. And then it goes back into creative testing. If it's bad, we study the metrics. If the hold rate is the problem, we change the body. If the hook rate is the problem, we change the hook, and it goes back into creative testing. If after that cycle nothing really changes, we're going to log it as a loser and we won't use it again. So that's how we made over 4,000 ad creatives last year alone. If you want to skip all this process and have us do this for you, then you can check the first link down below to book a call with me. If you want this guide, you can check the second link down below. And if you want to learn exactly how to build an e-com funnel that makes you 10K a day, check this video right here, and I'll see you in the next one.